And we are live. We are
Ooh,
live.
ooh,
Yeah. Hi,
ooh.
hi.
That's
Yes, yes.
fantastic. I'm so excited to be here talking to you, Meir. It's
Me
just a
too.
fabulous opportunity. Thank you so much for this. May I just say thank you to my friend Ahmed Shah Duranai. He's your student, and he's the one who connected me with you, and he's the one who introduced me to your work, which I'm thoroughly grateful for. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
So, may I introduce you to my audience, please?
Of course.
Okay, so Meir Ezra, he's a philanthropist. He is a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He's a coach and mentor. He is a speaker. He is a spiritual teacher. And I have the pleasure today to be speaking with him for the very first time ever. And let's just learn from him, from his wisdom, from his golden nuggets. Let's see if we can change our lives just a little bit today. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Meir.
Thank you for a beautiful introduction. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm feeling I'm done. Okay, done.
Okay, bye. So, Meir, I want to first ask you this question. I've met your students, and they swear that they have transformed their lives just through a short time of working with you.
Yeah.
How do you do that? What is your approach? How do you do that? How do you help people?
I don't do it. It's them. What I actually do is unlike most people think that the way to fix something is to find what's wrong with the thing. So if the car don't work, you need to find why it's not working, what's wrong with it. I think that people are not car. I think that with people, unlike car, you need to look what's right with them. And once you see for yourself what's right with them, they transform. You just need to see one person that see how amazing you are, one person, and you will change. The only problem that you have is no one ever actually acknowledge how perfect you are. You've never been acknowledged on for how good you are, how good is your intention, how really how perfect you are. And because you never been acknowledged, no one actually understood that the worst thing you've done was in an effort to do good. It was in an effort to solve a problem. It was never actually meant, you never actually meant to do harm. And no one acknowledged you with that. And once you acknowledge a person fully that he is good, what's happened is now he's not withholding himself. Because why you withhold yourself? Why you're not using your full potential? Because you've done something, you've tried to do something good, but someone told you it's bad. He didn't really understand that you tried good. So you say, well, maybe I'm wrong. So you cut a little bit your power. And you've done another thing now with less power and with less observation, and you've done something worse. And someone told you, look, this is really wrong. So you cut your power more. And the next thing that happened, you done another thing, and two people told you that it's bad. So the next time that an opportunity comes to do something, you say, you know what, let me procrastinate. You don't do because no one actually saw how perfect you are. This is really the basic of everything. Once you actually, what I do, I just convince people that they're good. I use a lot of knowledge, blah, 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 irrelevant, because you know the definition of the word spirit is this thing that knows. So for me to come and tell you that I teach you is actually reducing your power. It's again making you wrong. Because you know, the problem is no one let you know. That's the only problem.
And you believe that about everybody. You know this is true of everybody.
I don't believe I know 100%. I've been in all the jails in Israel, met the worst criminals. I've been in the best places with very successful people, with very religious people, I've been in the army. I've seen a war. I've seen everything. And I never seen one person that didn't commit a sin in an effort to resolve a problem. The only reason, if you look what you've done, you committed the sin, you stole from your mom money, let's say, okay? Why? You had the problem. You didn't have the tools to solve it. So you've done what you thought is right. And your mom, instead of understanding that you have an amazing intention and validating the intention, ignoring the result, and taking you and tell me what was right the intention? What was your intention? She punished you. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a very nice example. My son was, I think it was about, 3, 4, 5 years old, something like that. And my daughter was about 2 years above him, so 5, 6, 7, whatever. And my daughter had beautiful curly hair. My son always pulled her hair, but like strong, hard, like you look at that, you think that it's an evil purpose, like, whoa, this guy is evil. So one day I come home and there's a big tantrum. My wife says, he's your child, take him.
I don't want
it. I don't want it. Thank you, right? Transfer the ownership. So I go to his room and he's crying. And I sit down on the floor and I start to cry with him. So he looks at me like I'm crazy. And I said, well, you're crying, so I'm crying. So he said, no, but you should not cry. You're an adult. I said, okay, good. So why are you crying? He says, because mommy is mean. I said, good. How was she mean to you? And he said, well, she always mean to me when I pull Hadar's hair. So I told him, wow, if she mean to you because of that, it's probably not okay. Tell me, why do you pull her hair? Like, how do you try to help her? So he looks at me and he gives me this look that, are you stupid? And I say, and like he looks at me like that, and I said, no, I really want to know, how do you want to help her? How do you try to help her? I know you're trying to help her, I just don't understand. I know I don't understand how. So please help me to understand. So I said, okay, fine, I'll explain to you. So I said, go ahead. He says, do you know that she always said that she wants straight hair and she's using this iron to make it straight? So I help her.
That's a smart guy.
I help her. So once you understand that, now, okay, now it's not a problem. I don't find anything wrong with that. It's actually perfect. He has good intention. So of course you sit with him and you explain to him how do you straight hair and blah, blah, blah. And we just gave him data. The moment that we gave him data, he gained control. The moment that he gained control, of course, he's responsible. And that's the whole story. You never, ever, ever have bad intention. You have good intention with lack of knowledge. And what happens is you have bad results and people judge you by the results instead of by your intention. I said that when someone fall in love, the biggest mistake is to evaluate the other person by his results or by his actions, only by his intentions, because the intentions are always good. And if you just understand, even if it's an insane reason, how he thought that this will be good, he will recover. And the only mistake you can do is not see that.
What a change of perspective that would be.
Yeah.
To be able to see everyone's intention and realize that there are no bad people in this world.
There is only lack of knowledge. There is only lack of knowledge. So when people, you will notice also that in society, as we grew up with knowledge, we stopped being savages and barbaric and so on, and we became more civilized with knowledge. So if we are not, if a couple not behaving civilized to each other, some knowledge is missing. And the question is, what is that knowledge that's missing? That's the real question. Okay, so what is the knowledge? What is it, this thing that's missing? What is this thing that makes you so blind that despite all your good intention, your results it's not so good? And that is very easy to teach. That is very easy once you understand it. And the wonderful thing that happened is, I explain it like that. You've got a very, very, very powerful being. Like your potential is in order of magnitudes, thousands of orders of magnitudes bigger than your results. Why? Because every time you've done something that you consider is not okay, you didn't want anyone to know about it because you knew they're not going to evaluate you by your intention, they will evaluate you by your results, so you hide it. And then you've done another thing and you hide it. And then you've done another thing and you hide it and you hide it. And what you have around you is a kind of a wall of things that you hide in order for other people not to see what you've done. But in the process, you make yourself blind. You cannot see. And if you cannot see, of course, you cannot reach to have. And if you cannot reach to have, you are in a jail of your own creation. And that jail is built from shadows. It's built from shadows.
I heard that secrets can make you sick.
Sorry?
That secrets make you sick.
Yeah, it's actually, secrets are, the problem with secret is that you're good. And when you're blind, you cannot make good. So how do you kill a spirit? You don't let its intention shine. And who cannot let your intention shine? You. And why? Because people make you wrong for having good intention and bad results. This is probably the biggest problem with children. The definition of the word child is a person with small body and good intention, always good intentions, a lot of time with often bad results. A child have exactly the same feeling like an adult, exactly the same wanting, he love, he hate, he happy, unhappy, everything is the same. The only difference is that he has a small body. Now adults, because the child have a small body, think that a child is a different life form. Now when someone is a different life form, you behave to him differently. You behave to a cockroaches different than what you behave to dogs, different than what you behave to people, and different than what you behave to amoebas, because it's different life forms. Once you put in your head that a child is a different life form, you behave to them in a terrible way. You come to a child and say, okay, we're going. Imagine someone come to you right now and say, okay, we're going. Mommy need to go. You're in the middle of the interview and someone come and take you. Imagine that you're in the middle of watching a movie and someone say, okay, we're going to sleep now. Imagine someone tell you, you have to go to school. You don't want to study this thing, but you have to. Imagine someone lied to you all your life, that if you don't go to school, you will not be successful. If you don't eat, you will not grow, etc., etc., etc. All those lies that adults tell children. What will happen to you? You will kill a person that will do that. You will kill a person that will do that. Actually, I have a story to tell you about it.
Okay.
So this is a very interesting story. The other day, and this is a story that I have a whole production around it, but it's just so important that. So the other day there was this guy, and he walks in the street, and he just walk, and he's looking at his phone, and he hit someone unintentionally. So he turned around to that guy and said, oh, I'm sorry. And the other guy said, oh, I'm sorry. And that's it. They were very polite to each other, and they left. Later on, during the dinner time, that same person was cooking a meal for his family. And as he turned around with something in his hand, his child was standing. He didn't see him. He didn't notice that he's there. He hit the child, and everything got spilled on the floor, and it was a big mess. And he got really upset with the child. Like, how many times I told you not to stand there when I'm cooking? How about are you not understanding me? Why are you doing it? And he really drilled that child. Okay. The child, of course, left and whatever. Later on, at night, he went to sleep. This guy went to sleep. And just before he fell asleep, he thought, this is weird. This morning, I hit a total stranger, and I was so rude. And it was so nice to him. But for my family that love me so much, I'm so rude. It doesn't make sense. Why? So this guy decided to go down to the kitchen, and he was sitting at the kitchen thinking what he should do. And all of a sudden, he noticed that he looked and he saw on the floor, he saw flowers. So he said, wow, flowers. He picked them one by one, 3 flowers. And he realized that his son actually wanted to give him the flowers. You understand? Always good intention. Always good intention. Always.
Wow.
So, anyway, so this father obviously went to his son room and wake him up and said, look, I'm really, really sorry for how I behaved. And the son, because he's an angel, and because children forgive the parents for anything they do.
Yes.
Anything. The son looked at him and said, it's not a problem at all. It's not a problem at all. I picked up these flowers because I thought that you like them. And I like them because the blue one reminded me of the blue in your eyes.
Wow.
That's how good they are. Always good intention.
Such a good thing to remember, Meir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, I was not expecting this at all.
Me too.
And look what I have.
Oh, look what I have.
I'm not actually smoking this. I thought it would bring you some laughter.
Me too, I'm also holding it.
Yes, I know that. Do you ever like that thing?
Not really. I do from time to time, but just from time to time.
Okay. Well,
Sometimes.
It's your signature. So
It is definitely my signature. I'm always with a cigar, always holding a cigar, and I like it. And they are really very, very good Cuban cigars.
What kind is it?
This specific one is Partagos D4. And this specific one, I always have a good cigar with me. And after 2-3 days, they break, and I throw them away, and I take another one. So some people smoke them, and it takes them an hour. For me, it takes 3 days. So it's because I'm Jewish, so I'm saving.
Well, they're expensive, so I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
So I'm using once every 3 days.
Oh my God. So that would be a good gift if someone wants to give you a gift. You'd like some Partagos number 3. Meir, my next question, if I may, please. Why do we react in such different ways to the same situation?
Okay. So the word emotion mean how you handle motion. The word emotion mean how you handle motion. So for example, if I take a ball and I throw at you the ball and you're enthusiastic, you'll take the ball and you throw it to someone else, and there will be a big party and everyone will be wah, 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 wah. If you are conservative and I throw the ball at you, you'll take the ball, you'll hold it, you look around, you see that everyone agreed that we will play and only two of us will play. If you are, so this is how you will handle motion. If you are antagonistic and I throw the ball at you, you'll push the ball away and say, how dare you? And the ball doesn't have to be a ball. It can be hello. It can be anything, any motion. If you are angry, you will throw the ball at you. You will hold it. You will want to throw it back, but you wouldn't be able to. You'll notice that when you are angry, you are stopped. You don't actually have a punch. You don't actually say what you want to say. You get stopped. If you're afraid and I throw the ball at you, you'll run away from the ball. If you are in apathy, the ball will hit you and you will not even know that it hit you. So your emotion is how you handle motion. So it seems like everyone handling the same situation in a different way. They're handling it from their emotional viewpoint. Everyone has these glasses that define his emotion, his way of looking at motion in life. And life is motion. Everything is motion. Life is motion. Everything in life is motion. Everything in life can be reduced to motion. So you look at, you have these glasses and you look at the motion and you handle the motion including to your viewpoint. Am I an angry person? Am I this? Am I that? And you always not fail, regardless of what's happening. You always handling it like that. Never change, never move. The question is, why will someone drop down to needing to use emotion instead of just using your power? So really you'll see that emotions that are being automatically generated versus emotion that you create, it's two different things. So I can create emotion that I'm enthusiastic to see you. That's a healthy emotion. Or I can be affected by emotion. I can get angry. I'm being affected by emotion, and that's not me, yes? So emotions are how the more life hits you, the more people don't understand your good intention, the more you will want to stop motion, the less your emotion will become, the more deteriorated your emotion. And the last effort to stop motion is when you die. When you die, you're still making other people wrong. I'll show you, I will die. So the reason people behave, of course, there's a lot to learn about emotion and blah, 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 and how it happens and why and blah, blah, blah. There's like every sentence here can be half a book or a book. But the reason the same different people see differently things, behave differently, is they are stuck in an emotion. So if I can tolerate a certain emotion, I define what does it mean emotion, how you handle motion, which means what is your wavelength? What's the definition of the word wavelength? A wave has peaks. The distance in centimeters between the peaks is a wavelength, where a frequency is how many peaks you have in a second. Mm-hmm. So the higher the frequency, the lower the wavelength, yes? So when you get closer towards the spirit, you will see that the spirit basically have no frequency. When people tell you, well, you know, your frequency it's nonsense. It's not your frequency, it's your body frequency. The spirit is not a physical thing. Only physical thing has frequency, okay? But the higher the frequency, the closer you are to the spirit, the nicer you behave, the more alive you are, the more you can handle motion. The more motion you can handle, and like you see a child, they are like the children that can handle a lot of motion, and they're moving, and then they come home and they say, hey, shut up, children, and they freeze. Stop the motion, and they're getting afraid. They're going to fear. That is home. Be careful, yes? But you cannot hold them for too long, and 5 minutes later they're going. Yeah. So the emotion is actually your decision when you are locked in an emotion, and that emotion defines your viewpoint on life, and basically you need to to handle your viewpoint in order to change your emotion. But generally, if people don't know the actual truth about this universe, if they think that it's all about energy and it's all about frequencies, and it's all, every time there's a new buzzword that they don't actually understand it, then you're stuck in an emotion, and regardless of all your training, regardless of whatever you do, you will not improve. If you really improve, you need to remove what I call fake realities. Fake reality is a piece of information you're 100% sure is right, but when you use it, it doesn't bring the expected result, which means you cannot find it by looking at what's right and what's wrong. The only way for you to find fake realities is by looking at, okay, I have bad results. I know that I have a fake reality, I need to find it, and usually you will need someone to help you to spot it.
And that's where a coach comes in.
That's when a coach comes in, yes. And I define a coach as a person above the maze. What do I mean? You are in a maze.
Yeah.
You're in a maze, and when you are in a maze, you just hit walls. You see only walls. You don't believe there's a way out. Yeah. A coach is someone that can look above the maze and tell you, you know, there's a wall. You can go left or right. What do you want to do? Right. Okay, that's a good decision. Let me tell you what's going to be there. Do you want that? Oh, no, actually left. Okay, good. Let's go left. He allows you to make your decision based on data he brings to you, but he never makes the decision for you.
Oh, that's a good way of explaining this. Thank you so much. So everybody in life can use a coach.
Actually, in order to improve, you need a coach. Why? People has been for eons, for probably somewhere around 40 trillion years, been trained to get joy from things and not put joy in things. They think that why people cannot do a diet, because they think that the joy comes from the food. They don't understand that they put the joy into the food. They cannot stay. Sometimes I need to work a few days in a row without sleeping, and they say to me, well, you know, but I'm sick, I'm so tired. How can you do that? I put the energy into the body. I don't get energy from the body. I'm the boss. So because people been programmed to get joy from things, they get sucked into things. And when you are inside, you're actually within the maze. So before you learn how to actually put joy into things, and by that step out of the maze, because to put the joy into things, you need to look into the maze from the top. Before you can do that, you need a coach. And you will not progress for real without a coach. I mean, you can, there could be once every billion years that you made all the right turns. Too long, too painful. The only thing about the coach is that you need to ensure that the coach is willing to give you a guarantee result. Not if you do and if then, no. We agree what you do. You just do it, not how you do it. You just do it. You can do it wrongly. Just do it. Just do it. You can do it properly. You can do it incorrectly. Not wrong. But if I'm your coach, I agree with you what to do and don't tell you what to do, and you say that you'll do it, you will do it, because for as long as you will do it, I will give you not money back guarantee. I will guarantee that if you will not get what we agreed that you will get at the beginning, I will pay you for wasting your time with me. I'll pay you damages because I'm giving you a damage. If I coach you and you don't get the result, I damaged you. I obviously damaged you because you spent time with me. You didn't make money. There's so many things that went wrong because I damaged you. Because I said that I can see the road out, but I was lying. I couldn't see. Lying for sure. because it's a lie. Because if I say, look, I can bring you result, it means I can watch above the maze and I see the way out. So if I say that I see the way out, of course, I can estimate the time it will take, I can estimate the result, I can estimate everything, and I can give a guarantee. And if I cannot give a guarantee, it means I don't know. It means I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I would not take a coach that don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My coach need to put his money where his mouth is. If someone want to coach me, put your money where your mouth is. Show me the result.
Yeah.
And I'll show you the money. You show me the result.
Yeah. Yeah. Show me the results and I'll show you the money.
Exactly.
That's good. But see, you brought me to the next question, Meir.
Okay.
What's the difference? We could not have planned this, by the way. You don't make this up. Okay. What's the difference between goal, purpose, and ideal scene?
Wow, how did you hear that?
Oh my gosh. I have inside information.
I had inside information. Okay, good. So let me explain. I'll explain it in a different way. Most of the people try to find their purpose in life. They have this instinct that tells them that without a purpose, they cannot get anywhere. But the truth is that you cannot find your purpose. You cannot find your purpose in life.
What?
And that's why I'll explain what's the ending. I'm not going. You cannot find the purpose. Did you notice? If I ask you, what is your purpose? What do you want to do when you be big? I don't know. I want to be a pilot. I want to be a driver. I want to be a policeman. You don't know what you want to do. You don't, because I'm not sure. Today that looks good. Tomorrow that looks good, and the next day that looks even better. So, what is your purpose? So people come up with some kind of a general purpose, like, I want to help people. How? What? It's just so wishy-washy. Nothing happened, and because of that, because people try to find a purpose, and people misleading people and telling them, let's find your purpose, where they don't even know what's the definition of the word purpose, then what you have is a total mess up. Okay? So let's see, how do you find your purpose? Okay? How do you find your purpose? Because you cannot find it. So how do you find it if you cannot find it? What you need to do is you need to write in details, what do you want to have? For example, if you want to have a child, it's obvious that one of your purposes is to find sperm. Yes, it will be a purpose.
You need that. Yes, you need that.
It doesn't work. It doesn't have to be connected to a man, but at least the sperm.
You need one.
So, but if you just define I want a child, then the purpose will be, okay, I need the sperm. Yes. So the purpose is what you need to do. Purpose is doingness. What you have is the result, and the goal is what you will become. If you will have the sperm, you will become a mommy. You understand?
Yes.
So what you have is actually be, do, have. Be, do, have. Goal, purpose, and what you will have, an ideal scene or picture perfect. Now, when you define what you want to have, you have to define who is the enemy. Who is the other side? Who is the opponent? If I go to play basketball and I know that my purpose, or that what I want is the ball in the hole, and so my purpose is obviously to put as many balls in the hole. Okay, good. But if I don't know who is that there is another opponent there, that there is another thing there, then I will not actually play the game, and I will not have a purpose, and it will be quite a stupid purpose to play with myself. It doesn't work. Yes.
Yes.
So So you need to define who is the enemy, and that's what I never see anyone doing it. They say, I want to have this and I want to have that and I want to have... Good, who's the enemy? I want to know who we are going to fight, because if we are not going to fight someone, it's boring. If I'm going to play basketball with a 5 years old and I'm 50 years old and I'm going to fight to play with him, if he's my enemy, it's not a game. It's boring. It's boring. I can play with him for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And if he's my son, then I'm doing it not for the best basketball. The game is a different game.
Yeah.
But if it's a game, if it's a basketball game, if we're going to the playoff and the other side is like a useless guy that just started to play from yesterday, it's not a game. It's like, why are we doing it? It's nonsense, yes? You need to define who is the enemy, and the enemy needs to be someone that is a challenge, but that you know you can overcome.
So it could be, it doesn't have to be a person, obviously.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. It can be the element, it can be
a challenge, something.
It can be anything, but it has to be defined, and it has to be big enough that it will give you challenge. And but you need to know that it is someone that you can, or something you can overcome. So for example, if I go to I've been in a war, so my what I wanted to have is to take over this station. Okay, good. So if I just want to go and take over the station, obviously people will shoot me. The people that protecting it will shoot me, and I will die. But if I know, okay, I'm going to have 3 guys there. 2 sitting there, 3 sitting there, one sniper there. I know. It's not easy, but I know I can do something about it. So I have a purpose that I can actually fulfill, and I will become the winner. But if I just went and I said, well, my purpose is to take this post, and I'm going to go and shoot everyone, childish. It will not happen. And that's what happened in life. No one actually defined, they know what they want to have instinctively, but they don't put a second into, let's define the enemy.
Okay, so may I just pick your brain here? I work with a lot of people who are trying to develop healthy habits. So bring wellness into their lives, lose some weight, become healthy. How can we look at this goal, purpose, ideal scene in that situation? Okay, thanks.
Okay, good. So what I will do, I will say, first of all, okay, so I want to get the body. The ideal scene is not that I will lose weight, and not that I will have a healthy body. The ideal scene is that I, the spirit, is the boss over the body, which means I'm using the body, I'm not serving the body. Okay? So I'm not looking for habits, because dogs have habits, people are cause. Okay? So I'm not looking for habits. Habits is the worst thing in the universe, because every time you do something through a habit, you lost your causation. So not habits. I want to be cause. I want to be the boss. I say, and it is. Why? Because. So first of all, the first thing I want is I want to have a situation where the body do what I say. Okay? So in order to have that, I need the ability to put on weight or to reduce weight, to become sick or to become healthy at will. And I need, my ideal scene is that I can play with that. Turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. Because otherwise I will be afraid of being sick. I will be afraid of being fat. I will be afraid. No, I need to be able to experience both and know that I'm in control. So the definition of what I want to have is really important. Now, what is the enemy? The enemy is all my beliefs and all my fake realities about the body. So what is my purpose? My purpose is to eradicate all my prior beliefs about the body and to become me again.
Ooh.
That.
Yes. Okay, that's a totally different perspective. That's so good.
Yeah. But it works.
Yes. You always talk about being the cause, not the effect.
Always cause, not the effect, and always be willing to win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm. Never put me in a position where I have to win or I have to lose because now I'm not playing the game.
Yes.
I want to play the
game.
game. Yes, I want to play the game. I don't want to win, because if I want to win, actually what I'm doing, I'm trying not to lose, which will intensify the losing. So I'm cause. I'm not doing anything that is not on my own self-determinism. I decide. I don't go to sleep in a set time. I don't, even if it's on a set time, I decide. I don't go to sleep on a set time. I don't eat on a set time. I don't train in a set time. I don't do anything on a set anything. I recreate the next 5 seconds. I have this 5 seconds rule.
Yes, I know about that. Can you tell? Yes, please.
The basic idea about the 5 second rule is that in order to be cause, or what is the definition of the word present time? People say, you need to be in the present, you need to be in the present, you need to be. What is present time? By the time I say it's already in the past. Yes? So it's nonsense to say present time is actually, what is it? What is present time? You need to be present. What does it mean to be present? By the time I heard you, the past has been changed by the number of particles around us, time the speed of light, time the spin of the planet. What does it mean to be present? It's nonsense, yes?
Well, you challenge everything I think I know. But you're right. Yeah.
What is present time? People say be present. Good, show me where is present. Show me. Define it. Never mind, show me. Define. Just tell me the definition of the word present.
Now it's
already gone. So there's no now in the physical universe. There's no now. You can say it, and you mean to something, but you don't have the definition. And if you don't have the definition, you will actually not have control. So the more you say, the further you'll go away from it. People that tell you, I really want to be in the now, what they actually tell you is, I cannot. Like when someone tells you, I want to be successful, he actually says, look, it's not so nice for me to say, but I'm such a miserable failure. Mm-hmm. But I call it, I want to be successful because it sounds better. It's a failure with sugar on top.
Yes. Yes. The 5 second rule.
Okay. So what does it mean, present time? Present time is the length of time that you have total control over. The length of time that you have total control over. Okay. So what does it mean? What's the 5 second rule? The 5 second rule is the time that I found that every person can decide that they can be control over something, over excruciating pain, over difficulties, over a resistance. 5 seconds. And then so you can take that principle, and this principle is, again, a whole book. This principle, you can look at the amount of motion and translate it to 5 minutes or 5 hours, is the length of time within the construct that you have total control over, that you can predict that within these 5 seconds, I'm the boss, okay? So I look at life not as life, but I look at life as number of 5 seconds. So when someone tells me, run, go and do something difficult, I never think about, well, that's going to be 5 hours of pain. I'm thinking about, that's going to be 5 seconds of pain. There is nothing before for me, nothing after, nothing. For me, this 5 second pain, no problem, do it. Do it, 5 seconds. And then when the 5 seconds finish, I decide consciously, I'm going to put the next 5 seconds, and I'm going to put the next 5 seconds. And I actually put it there. And I think one of the best example was one, I think that you probably heard that if you heard about the 5-second rule. One guy in one of my seminars told me, I can do 7 minutes plank, you cannot, because I was talking about the power of the spirit. And he said, let's see your spirit doing it. And I say, first of all, this is not my spirit. I am the spirit. That's number one. So just so I can help you with clearing that word. But not a problem. I'll do 7 minutes plank. But can you show me what does it mean to plank? Because I never done a plank. So he showed me what it means. So, okay, I can do that. He says, you don't know what a plank, you will die in the middle. I said, we will die in the middle, not a problem. I'll take a new body. I heard they're giving them for free.
I'll take a better one too.
Yeah, I'll take a new body, no problem. New model, no problem. Can I give you the extra that I want?
I want tall, blonde.
Yeah, what do I want? So I go down and I do 7-minute planks. And when I stand up, everyone asks me, wow, how did you do that? How come you are so powerful? And I said, no, I'm actually quite weak. I've done many 5 seconds. For me, I've done a 5-second plank. For me, it was only 5 seconds. I didn't do 7 minutes. When I sit and work for a whole night doing something, I don't work the whole night. It's for the exterior person. He thinks it's a whole night. For me, it's a 5 second. Because every time I get any kind of a counter intention, I just say, okay, fine, next 5 seconds. Next 5 seconds. Next 5 seconds. After a while, I just, okay, fine, it's easy. Why? Success is the sum of all validated improvements. So every 5 seconds that you say you can, you added improvement. One day you say, you know what, I can. Not the problem.
And everyone is capable of this, Meir?
Everyone. Try it. You just need to try it. And don't try to do something really extreme. Try something small. From this Facebook lives that I'm doing, I had people writing to me and say, I had this job to finish and I was very tired and I applied the 5-second rule and it worked and it's a miracle. And at the beginning, it was really difficult in the first 3 or 4 times. And I don't even remember when I stopped looking at the 5 seconds. And all of a sudden I was at 4 a.m. in the morning and I finished the project and I couldn't go to sleep because I was so in exhilaration because this project was sitting on my for months and months and months. And I've listened to your Facebook live and I just decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to try it with this project. And as I sat on it, I felt, I don't want to do it. And I said, okay, 5 seconds. And this lady wrote to me, she gave me this whole thing and she did. And it's not only her, every person, you need to try the 5-second rule. You just do another 5 seconds, another 5 seconds, another 5 seconds. There's people that cannot sleep, okay? People that cannot sleep. I had a lady that couldn't sleep. And what I told her to do is I want you for 5 seconds, only for 5 seconds, make sure you don't sleep. And then for another 5 make sure you don't sleep. And another 5 seconds, I want you to make sure you don't sleep. You mustn't sleep. You have to think about it. I mustn't sleep. 5 seconds. I mustn't sleep. I cannot sleep. I cannot. It will be irresponsible for me to. It's the best night that you have. Yeah. Why? Because when you gain control over something, you'll get what you want. You try to sleep, you couldn't. Now, what you can is not sleeping. So I can gain control over not sleeping. And now I can fall asleep.
Be the boss.
Be the boss.
That's so good. I'm going to start with 1 minute planks.
Good.
5 seconds. 5 seconds at a time.
5 seconds. Just look at this thing and say 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. And when you think that it's impossible, just 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds. And by
I'm
the way, there
thinking-
is an actual reason why 5 and not 3 and not 4 and so on, but that's a different story.
That's a different story. We'll take your word for it. I'm thinking about people who have addictions. You know, that it's just simply smoking cigarettes, and they're trying to quit, and they get that urge. Oh, I want a cigarette now. 5 seconds at a time.
5 seconds. 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds. Just for 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. And then when you really want something, when you have an addiction, when you want something, what you need to do is the same principle, is to say, you know what? I want to increase my wanting to smoke by 10 times for 5 seconds. Because I want to smoke. I want to increase it by 10 times for 5 seconds. And another 5 seconds. And another 5 seconds. And I to increase it. But if it's not increased, I don't count these 5 seconds. You start from the beginning.
So how do you mean?
I want to smoke this cigar, and I decide I'm not going to smoke it. I'm quitting smoking. So I feel like I'm going to light the cigar, and I say, okay, hold on. 5 seconds from before I smoke it, because if I smoke it, I really want it. I need to increase this urge to smoke. I want to increase the urge to smoke before I actually can light it. How do I do that? Now you're thinking too much. 5 seconds. You need to increase the urge to smoke. You need to increase the urge to smoke. And all of a sudden you will realize that actually I don't want to smoke. I don't really need to smoke. I don't want to smoke, because you become cause over it. Try it with anything.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Try it.
Oh, I can see this. I can see this to be the solution for a lot of things that we're trying to do in life.
That's
the 5 second rule. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have so many more questions, Meir, but I know you're a busy man and you probably have another interview
meeting
after.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep them for another time, and I hope that we can talk again, because this has been such a blast. Thank you. I appreciate that. So now I attended your free webinar last Sunday. Yes.
I didn't know.
Yes, I did. And that was my very first introduction to Yoga Sutras. The way you explained them, the way you talk about them was just so wonderful and so simple to understand. Can you please talk about that so that other people can also enjoy it?
Yeah, so the Yoga Sutras are actually an ancient data, an ancient knowledge that was designed to release the spirit from the clause, from the draconian clause of the physical universe. Because right now you are controlled by the physical universe. You want to drink coffee, you need to go and make coffee. You cannot just say coffee, yes? So that was the purpose, to release you from the draconian clause of the physical universe and to make you back into you. It was an amazing technology, amazing piece of knowledge. And over the years, because it was so powerful, people tried to protect it. And over the years, it was moving from one person to another as a secret, never written, never totally complete, always partial. So over time, the knowledge got deteriorated and deteriorated and deteriorated, and every person that took the knowledge further took it to his level of misunderstanding. And a few thousand years later, you read them and they make no sense. No sense. I've actually, in the first lesson, or I think even in the last lesson, I took one of the Yoga Sutras and I said, okay, good, so tell me, what does it mean? And no one could say anything, like no one could explain it. People that read the Yoga Sutras many times. So why? Because there's no sense in them. What do you do in such a situation? So really, I got into the Yoga Sutras because a friend and one of my students, Ray Indigo, she's a very famous yoga teacher and very successful and blah, blah, blah. And she wanted to teach the Yoga Sutras. And she told me, look, I know it's something does not add up. After I started to study with you, I actually don't want to teach them, but I want to know what they are. I said, not a problem. Let me figure out how to recover that knowledge. how to remember it, to go back and to recover the knowledge. And I came up with a way how to do that, and I showed her how to do that, and so she can come up with the sutras exactly like mine without seeing what I wrote. She would know what I wrote, yes? And the basic idea is to take a whole group of people and to teach them how to recover knowledge, so you can go and find the Yoga Sutras for yourself, not because I gave you them, but because you found them. And that's the purpose. And the first few free webinars that I'm doing, they design only to remove fake realities, just to get you to a point where I can actually explain to you what I want to explain to you. So 3-4 webinars, about 8 hours, just the preparation. So I will have the language with people so they can understand. So when I say spirit, they don't think that is something that they own. And when I say an idea, they know what it is. And when I say intention, they know what it is. And when I say cause, effect, responsibility, control, flaws, entities, blah, 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 all of those things, you need to understand the whole mechanism before I can even talk to you, because otherwise I say something and you say, oh yes, that's energy. Spirit is not an energy. Yes, and if you say energy, you need to understand what does it mean, energy. Energy is something that happens only as a result of the releasing potential. You understand? It's in the physical universe, it's a result of releasing potential, and blah, 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 blah. And once you understand the picture, once you really know it, not just say, oh yeah, I have some certificate that says that I know it. Once you really know it, first of all, after every lesson, you will see that you will grow and you will bring results. Your life will look differently. After every lesson, people will, I know, change the viewpoint and they're starting to get hold of their life. That's number one. And number two is that at one point, you will have such a big shift in your viewpoint that you will actually start to know that you're good. At that moment, I can start talking to you. Because before that, I'm not actually talking to the person. I'm talking to some entities, to some machineries.
Ooh. How many people would you say you have helped through the years, Meir? Or do you keep count?
I don't know, 100,000, 200,000 directly.
Oh my God. What a feeling that must be. What an amazing satisfaction comes from knowing that you're touching lives all over the world. True. And now we're touched. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And thank you for all the and thank you for Amit and Swapna that set it up. And thank you for Shamaya that you probably don't even know, but she's organizing things in the background. So amazing. She actually makes sure that I'm here. And thank you for everyone that joined us. I see Avi and I see Lisa and Amit and Janelle and Ahmed and of course Swapna and Mariah, Miriam, yes, Miriam and Austin and lots of other people. So thank you everyone. And the biggest thank you to Gali, my son, that helps me on every single step that I'm doing. He's always there to help me.
Thank you, Gali.
Yeah. Mwah.
Take care, Meir Ezra. Thank you. And it was nice to meet you.
Very, very nice to meet you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
And